Hello, I'm Natasha Chilingarian.
And I'm Michael Ogden. This is Shared Accounts with CU Times. Do you ever have to rush to do things in between meetings, like grab a bite to eat, go to the bathroom, let the dog outside, or record a podcast intro? Welcome to Shared Accounts with CU Times. Coming up, we're speaking with Bill Cheney, CEO of SchoolsFirst Federal Credit Union out in Tustin, California, where he and his team are preparing to celebrate the credit union's 90th anniversary. Bill Cheney, to me, is a real that guy in the credit union industry, like a character actor in a bunch of movies or TV shows. Bill is always there at credit union events and really has become a foundational fixture in the industry. I've known him since the days when he led CUNA. And honestly, I haven't had the chance to speak with him personally for a long time. So Bill and I talk about his time at SchoolsFirst, which it's already been a decade. And we also talk about the best place to get queso in Austin, Texas. Stay tuned for that. First up, let's take a break from the week. Check in with Natasha. Hey, Ed.
Hey, Em, how's it going?
It's going fine. How about you?
It's going okay.
Yeah.
I'm back in Portland, Oregon for the time being. Did a little
Yeah.
traveling.
Well, I was sorry you weren't able because you were traveling. You weren't able
Right.
to do the interview with me and Bill.
I know.
So, but again, you're traveling. I'm glad you were having a good time over. Where were you?
I was down in South Carolina for a week visiting my aunt and uncle,
Yeah.
visited a good friend of mine and her family.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as you know, I also met up with our reporter, Jim Duplessis. So that
Yeah,
was really fun because we
that's
rarely
good.
get to see each other in person, any of us on staff here.
Yeah, you posted some photos I saw on Instagram of
Yeah.
you and Jim. And I was like, oh, it looks hot there.
It actually wasn't that hot. I was
Oh,
surprised.
okay.
It was cool. Yeah, he was saying it was, like, really unusually cool that week.
Yeah, so
I
it
mean,
was
still
90
warm enough.
probably.
Well, yeah, like 83 maybe,
Okay. Yeah.
84, which is, like,
Okay.
probably perfect for them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. During your traveling, though, were you able to watch anything?
So, yes, it actually happened on the flight back
Okay.
because obviously the movies to pick from.
Oh, sure. Please tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, kind of a funny story. So I was kind of already in a bad mood on this flight back. I was on a
Okay.
flight from Houston to Portland, like about a 4-hour flight. I was kind of in a bad mood because my flight had already been changed. I was supposed to come back here the day
Oh,
before,
right,
but
right.
there was a whole issue with the delay. So they put me on the next flight the next morning. So I was
Uh-huh.
already like, ugh, had to
Yeah.
stay an extra day. So I started watching a movie on their little free entertainment system, like
Mm-hmm.
through your phone. You can just go onto the Wi-Fi.
Right.
So anyway, I started watching this movie, Passengers from 2016 with Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, kind of a
Oh, the
sci-fi.
space movie, right?
It's a space movie, yes. But I was into it. I was, like, into the movie and was halfway through, and then the free entertainment thing on the phone just, like, died, like, I couldn't access it anymore. Just went
Oh,
down. I was
crap.
so upset because it was kind of like, it's like you're stranded on a desert island and you had this one. It's like Wilson got away from you and floated away, and you're like, "There's nothing else I can do to be entertained now. What do I do here? I'm trapped."
Oh, you made me choke with the Wilson comment. That's
I
funny.
know, that's a bit dramatic, but
Oh, that's funny.
so I ended up finishing the movie that night. I just went on Amazon. It was like rent for $2.99. I was like, "Yes, I'll
Uh-huh.
finish it." And then at the end, I was like, "Oh, that was dumb." I'm kind of
Oh.
annoyed I paid $2.99.
Wilson!
Oh,
Oh,
well.
never
Yeah.
mind, Wilson. You can stay.
Never mind. You weren't that entertaining anyway, so but yeah, it was, I don't know, very completely unrealistic and ridiculous, just
Sure,
scientifically, obviously.
sure.
And then also just kind of morally, yeah, I don't wanna give away the ending or anything, but the premise from the beginning part
Hmm.
is that they're on a journey for, like, 100 years to some other planet, and they're
Oh,
put to sleep, like, in hibernation, so they don't
uh-huh.
age, but
Right.
then the guy wakes up, the Chris Pratt character wakes up 90 years early,
Oh,
and then he
whoops.
decides he's by himself for a year on this ship because no one else is awake, goes crazy, and then decides to go wake up the Jennifer Lawrence character because he, like, decides he's in love with her, and
Oh,
she doesn't
no.
know. She thinks she woke up by mistake too.
Oh,
So
no.
that's anyway, fun.
Okay.
It passed the time, so
Alright.
that was my movie story from my
Great.
flight. Yeah, what
Loved
about
it.
you? Any fun watches while I was on vacation?
This past weekend, it's just been so stormy here lately. So I went ahead, rewatched Dune that came out
Oh,
in
okay.
2021, that new version, because Dune Part 2 had come out on HBO. So I watched Dune and then Dune Part 2. So it's like
Oh,
5 hours worth of movies. Watched
Yeah,
them
it's a
back
lot.
to back. I really enjoyed the first Dune and the world building and stuff. Dune Part 2 was fine. It
Yeah.
was more ugh, macho kind of
Oh,
fighty stuff. And I was like, eh. I enjoyed the
right.
story a lot more, and Rebecca Ferguson's outstanding. I love her,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Timothée Chalamet is really incredible. But
Oh, nice. Yeah.
the
Yeah, I'm a
story
fan of
just
his.
kind of fell flat. But
Oh,
as
okay.
a whole, I still give it 4 stars on
Cool.
Letterboxd. I'm like, okay, fine. It's part of a bigger story. Oh, but then I
Okay.
watched this piece of crap movie that I need to tell
Oh.
people about.
Oh, okay.
I've been on this Exorcist kick of kind of revisiting the old Exorcist movies,
Right, right.
and they're so fun, and just especially the first one. But watched The Exorcist Believer that came out last year.
Oh, right. Okay.
Horrendous.
Oh,
The
no.
dumbest movie
Oh gosh.
possibly I've seen in the last 5 years. It was so honking stupid.
I don't see how, yeah, some of these movies even get
Oh,
made, really.
they
Some of them are
blew
just
it. And oh, who's making a new version of The Exorcist? Oh, Michael Flanagan. Mike Flanagan.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
He is trying to remake The Exorcist now, I read.
Again? Oh my gosh. How
Again,
many
so hopefully
times do you
that
think
makes
they can do I mean, how long do you think this is gonna go on? Just
well, they
new
paid like
Exorcist movies?
400 million for the rights to it
Oh,
a
wow.
few years ago. It's a really crazy story. But anyway, I'll watch
Interesting.
that one. But this
Yeah.
new one was so just terrible.
Oh,
Don't
no.
watch. I don't
Okay,
recommend it.
well,
Anyway,
yep, sounds like one of those horror films that just
that was so
why did it get made, like I
stupid.
said? But anyway, now people know not to watch that one, so
Yes, agree.
yes. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we should go ahead and move on to our main
We
part of
should.
the pod here.
Yep.
So, and let me just say really quick in the intro here, I really liked how you depicted Bill Cheney. I agree. I like he's that guy. He's
He is.
the it
Yeah.
guy, or I don't know what you would equate it to. The big
It's
man on
like,
campus. I don't know, but yeah, I,
well,
I agree.
thinking about him, I would like, oh, yeah, he was on an episode of Seinfeld. He's just kind of that guy.
Right. Yeah, I remember first meeting him at a GAC when I was doing a crash the GAC
Oh,
in
yeah, yeah.
2014. Yeah.
Okay.
But I just remember him, and at the time he was the president, CEO of CUNA, so he would come in, and I remember everybody was so like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like almost idolizing him. But he was actually I went up and talked to him, really nice guy, very approachable, and I've talked to him one on one
Hmm.
aside from that as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and 2014 was the year he switched from CUNA to Schools First.
right, yeah, he
That was
was,
the
like,
same year.
on his way out. So, yeah, he's
Okay.
had quite a career, that's for
Hmm.
sure. Well, as you said, I didn't join the interview, but I did have a chance to listen earlier. You
Hmm.
2 were talking about the legacy of Schools First, of his credit union, how it's gonna be hitting its 90th anniversary this month, and also beyond that, you and Bill dug into credit union strategies,
Hmm.
and also how he doesn't really even have a growth strategy because he believes growth comes from doing all the other things right,
That's
and
right. Yeah.
Schools First has become a $30 billion credit union with
Mhm.
1.3 million members. So, he sure seems to be doing a lot of those things right.
Yeah.
So, our listeners will get to hear how he's accomplishing some really incredible and impressive goals while also dealing with a new level of regulatory and compliance issues with being such a large size credit union. So, we have all that coming up next.
Hey, listeners. You're busy. I'm busy. The world's busy. The only thing not busy is your dog who's on your couch waiting for you to stop working, stop listening to this podcast. Give them a treat. But CU Times does have one solution for you and your busy brain, not your dog. It is our State of the Industry Town Hall webcast series. Our next panel discussion is taking place on June 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern, where I will be joined by credit union pros to discuss fintech and credit union partnerships in the tricky space this has become. We will also take questions from the live audience. It's free, it's informative. Sign up for this at cutimes.com/webcast. Again, this is happening on June 11th at 2 p.m. Register yourself, not your dog, at cutimes.com/webcasts. Joining me in the virtual studio today is Bill Cheney, President and CEO of Schools First Federal Credit Union. Bill, great to have you on the show.
Great to be with you. Thanks so much.
It's been a long time. Now, we're going to get to a number of things today concerning Schools First Federal Credit Union's 90th anniversary happening this month. First, I just want to ask, how you doing? It's been a long time since I've talked to you. How are you?
It has been a long time. I'm doing well, thank you. Enjoying life in Southern California, and yeah, it's all good. Thank you.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. You know what? I'm doing well. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm just enjoying doing credit union stuff all the time. Like you, embedded in the credit union world. But 10 years ago this month, you took on the leadership spot at Schools First, and now you are guiding the credit union into its 10th decade. Now, what does this milestone signify to you and Schools First?
It's hard to believe it's been 10 years. We were talking
Right?
earlier. It's amazing. But, I'm so fortunate to work at an organization that has that much history and has been so successful over the years. So we were actually started on our 80th anniversary. So we're going to
Yeah.
celebrate this anniversary this month together. But Schools First, which actually started in 1934 as Orange County Teachers Credit Union,
Mhm.
has really evolved over the years, actually, obviously grown a lot, but they were wildly successful long before I arrived on the scene here. And I replaced a guy most people in credit unions know named Rudy Hanley. He was the CEO here for 32 years.
Sure.
So hats off to him. So my job was to come in and not to mess it up, to keep that trajectory going, to keep serving our members as the team has done for so long, to take care of the team and make sure we stayed strong. So I was a great beneficiary of those 80 years of history. And yes, the last 10 years have also been successful
hmm
in a changing landscape for credit unions, as you know.
Yeah.
It's been a challenging 10 years, but also a really positive 10 years for us, not only here at Schools First, but I would say for credit unions overall.
Yeah, I agree. And I will also agree at Schools First in particular. I mean, the growth you've seen is incredible. And we do a lot of looking back to look forward on the pod
Mhm.
here. And with that in mind, how would you characterize this past decade for the credit union specifically?
Well, it has been a decade of unprecedented growth.
hmm
We crossed $10 billion in assets in 2014. And that's a big milestone these days because
Yeah.
it means a different regulatory scheme. And both with NCUA, our federal regulator for safety and soundness,
hmm
and it introduces the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, not only as a rulemaking entity, but as a supervisory entity. We're subject to their supervision now.
Yeah.
And so that was a big change that we went through in 2014. So managing that was sort of job one when I
Yeah.
got here in terms of the regulatory side of the business.
Sure.
We're focused on member service here as our number one priority, and that hasn't
Mhm.
changed. But we also have to manage the regulatory side. Obviously, we all do.
Right.
So that was a challenge, but we've made tremendous progress. We did just in the last few months surpass $30 billion in assets. So
Right.
that was a big milestone. And we also added just in April, we went over 1.4 million members. So we had 600,000 members 10 years
Yeah.
ago. So there's a lot of growth there. Much of it actually organic growth. We did have a
hmm
big merger, which was very significant and strategic for us
True.
back in 2020 with Schools Financial Credit Union in Sacramento. They're part of our credit union now.
Yeah.
They were $2 billion in assets and they had 160,000 members, which was significant.
Yeah.
But much of the growth actually has just been organic, growing our membership from within our membership with family members and adding new school employees. Last year was a record year of membership growth for us. So it's an amazing organization, and I'm fortunate to be a part of it.
Your modesty hasn't changed over the years. I'll say that, listening to you here. But, you hit on some of the challenges going into the CFPB realm, crossing
Yes.
that threshold. Is that the biggest challenge you faced over the last decade, or what are some of the others?
It's the biggest regulatory challenge. And
hmm
I don't mean that as a criticism of the agency, but it's very
Of
different. I
course.
mean, for the credit union practitioners listening, I mean, we've all worked with NCUA over the years, and they were our safety and soundness regulator, and they were also our compliance regulator. So,
Yeah.
how we manage compliance with our regulations, that was part of your NCUA exam. And occasionally, NCUA, they might come in and do a fair lending exam, or they might come in and do some contact where they're focused on a particular part of compliance.
hmm
Now we're part of the ONES group at NCUA, which is the Office of National Examination.
Yep.
And CFPB is our compliance regulator. So we rarely talk to NCUA about compliance at all. And CFPB has their own, they used to call them examiners
Yeah.
Now they call them enforcement officers, which is
Terrifying.
interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, that changed actually fairly recently. And it's a higher level of supervision. It's a much greater attention to detail. And again, that's what they were set up to do. So I'm not criticizing them. I'm not criticizing NCUA, but I actually just spoke to one of our main NCUA people yesterday. There's a difference between having a compliance regulator that's focused only on compliance and having a compliance regulator that also has some concern for our safety and soundness. And that can be challenging. And, the CFPB is very thorough, very professional, but it's something that has to be managed. And of course, we take compliance very seriously here. We do.
Sure.
But we have to balance that too with member service.
Is there another side of the challenges? You're talking about the regulatory compliance side. Is there a growth aspect that's challenging?
Well, our growth has been fantastic.
Yeah.
And I talk to our team all the time. We don't have a growth strategy at Schools First. We have a service strategy. And if we take care of serving our members and we have the team and we do that's capable of doing that at a world-class level, then growth is an outcome. So growth has to be managed, of course.
Sure.
But growth is an outcome of world-class service. And when I say service, I lump our products and services into that as well. It's the face-to-face service that our team delivers, but it's also everything that our team members who aren't interacting with our members every day, they play a role in that too, whether they work in our technology area or facilities or accounting and finance. I mean, it's all part of delivering that service. And then the growth takes care of itself.
Would you say then growth is one of your greatest successes, or is it the world-class service you're talking about? What would you list under your successes here?
Well, the growth has been successful, but again, it's just an outcome. What makes that happen is hiring and developing and retaining the team that provides that service on a day-to-day and hour-to-hour and minute-to-minute basis, and having the financial strength to do that and weather the storms as they come, which we've had a few in the last 10 years, in the last 35 years. You have to have that strength as well. But again, service really is what it's all about for us, and our member engagement and member service scores, net promoter scores, those things have all improved over the years as we continue to grow and continue to develop the team.
I do like a lot that you put growth kind of as an outcome, not a strategy.
Right.
And it seems to have really focused the work you're doing, Bill, and your teams, obviously.
Absolutely.
We were just looking back, so let's look forward for Schools First. What is on your horizon for leading the credit union right now?
Great question. So one of the changes that we made over the last 10 years is that we expanded our charter. So I mentioned we started out as Orange County Teachers Credit Union in Santa Ana, California, just a few miles from here in Orange County. We served Orange County for many, many years. And it was, a little less than 20 years ago, probably, we started expanding more geographically outside of Orange County, but continuing that focus on serving school employees.
Okay.
So we expanded to 10 Southern California counties, which is much of from Ventura County south to San Diego County. And all the way east, all the way east out to the Arizona border. But that's just the southern. There's a lot of people who live here, but that's the southern end of California. It was just a few years ago we expanded statewide. So we have what's called a TIP charter, which is trade, industry, or profession. It's a federal charter to serve school employees, and we expanded that to the state of California. That was back in 2018, I think. That was a big change, and it was shortly after that we were approached by Schools Financial as a potential merger partner, and it's so glad that happened. It's very strategic for us to now have that strong presence in Sacramento, which is our state capital.
Yeah.
We have 12 branches up there. We have an operations center up there. And so continuing that statewide expansion, what can we do to serve more school employees? And then, when a school employee joins, there's a tremendous opportunity then to add their family members as members, which has driven a lot of that growth over the years. So we also have, as so many credit unions do, we have subsidiary organizations that provide services. And so one of our QSOs is a third-party administration QSO that provides services to school districts, managing their retirement and supplemental retirement needs of their team and administrative tasks for them. And we do that for more than 350 school districts around the country. That's expanding statewide.
Wow.
Which is a great entree to us into new markets. Just the ability to serve more members and provide that world-class service that I was talking about. Much of our expansion, both on the third-party administration side and on the credit union side, the membership side, is through word of mouth. Because we are California's school employee credit union, there's a lot of statewide organizations of school employees, school administrators, school leaders. We work with the California School Employees Association and other unions of school employees. And there's just a lot of talk. If you're a school employee in California, you should have an opportunity to join Schools First. Yeah. And so that's a big part of looking forward. How we continue to make the credit union successful is expanding those opportunities.
Well, it sounds like the answer to what's on your horizon is everything. So that's what I'm going to rate.
Well, everything to do with school employees and their families, yes.
Of course.
Yeah. You know what? We're not trying to take over the world. We're just trying to serve more school employees. We don't serve the community here.
Sure.
We don't have associations where anybody can join. It's all about focusing on who we serve and how we serve them. So sorry to interrupt you there.
Oh, no. Hey, man, I love talking to you, Bill.
Hey, thanks.
So do you have any, with all of that in mind that you just kind of laid out, do you have any concerns or particular excitements of what's ahead for you and the credit union?
Well, I've always said throughout my career in credit unions, directly at the California Nevada Leagues and at CUNA, you've heard me say it before, there's never been a better time to be a credit union. I still believe that, but there are some challenges and some headwinds to our, I hate to say business model because it's really a people model, but it's a business model too. And more than I've seen in a while, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
They can be managed, but we're going to have to work together to protect what we have here in our credit union world, whether it's regulation or legislation. There are some challenges, whether it's talk about interchange income or service charges. People have other words for service charges, but I call them service charges.
Right.
Or the interest rate environment right now is challenging, and there's some concerns about the economy. That's cyclical. Yeah. I'm not really concerned about that. We can manage that. But some of these other headwinds and the sort of lack of understanding of the value of the services that we offer to our members, what they value as members from the services that they receive from us. The idea that if we pay someone's overdraft and charge them a fee, that's something that's inherently bad, or some have suggested even illegal. That's a concern. This idea that by charging interchange fees to retailers and taking on all the risk associated with the payment, that's something somehow as a system that's broken, even though it's been working for decades. That's concerning. We've already seen it on the debit card side. Now there's a threat on the credit card side. Again, this is a system that's working well for consumers, and people are pushing back on that. So those are some concerns that I have, and we need to work together to address those with our trade associations and with each other.
Of course. Thank you for laying those out. Those particular issues you were just talking about, they've been on the minds of every credit union leader we have spoken with this past year, especially during this legislative session. So thanks for kind of re-upping some of those concerns and things that you're working on. What do you attribute, though, to Schools First growth? You were talking about the outcome. It is an outcome of the work you're doing.
Yes.
But what or who do you attribute this growth success to? I tried to wrap my head around your financials and your membership growth. I'm like, my God, I mean, what is going right here? This is incredible.
Honestly, it's a focus on who we serve and how we serve them. I actually just was talking to someone yesterday about this, and it sounds kind of too simple, but I did a little video clip for our team, and we've been going back over the years and talking about our leaders in the past and how the credit union has evolved in preparation for this 90th anniversary. So the CEO had very few in our 90-year history, by the way. And Rudy was 32 years, so that's a lot of time and a lot of growth and success. I mean, 100% Rudy, he started here in 1982 and was here until 2014. That, talk about growth, is incredible. Before Rudy was a guy named Charles Haley, who the theme of my talk was that Charles Haley, who was the general manager, they called us back then, what we would now call a CEO. He was only the CEO for 6.5 years, but he also served on the board, and he was here for 47 years, either on the board or as CEO. And so
Okay.
The theme of that talk was that he brought us into the computer age, such as it was in the late 70s. And he did.
Yeah.
And it was essential. But it's who we serve and how we serve them. That's the easiest way to boil it down. So if you look at the credit union records and board minutes, for example, in the 30s and 40s, it's all about how do we better serve school employees and how do we better serve our members, and what are the unique products and services that we can offer that differentiate us as a school employee credit union. And if you look at the 60s and 70s, it's the same thing. If you look at the 80s and 90s, the same thing. It's keeping that focus and not, I don't know if you're familiar with the book Blue Ocean Strategy, but financial services has to be one of the, in particular, banking, for using the verb, not the noun, is a big red ocean, right? It's hugely competitive. Even as a relatively large credit union, we have competitors who are many, many hundreds of times our size. And we have to find our niche. And we have. And we've built this brand now and this loyalty among our existing members. By the way, 70% of our members still join at a branch. So word of mouth, if someone is a school employee, more so in Southern California now than Northern California, but we're building it in Northern California. If somebody's a school employee in Southern California, there's a pretty good chance that on your first day, somebody's going to tell you, you need to go join the credit union.
Oh, yeah. I have to believe that is happening. Yeah.
Right. And so it's the focus. It's who we serve and how we serve them. That's how I boil it down. And I don't know how to say it any better than that. I know it sounds simple. It's not, because it's easy to get distracted, but that's what it is.
So as Bill Cheney, sitting in the seat you're in, what do you feel is the key to successfully leading a credit union in today's world?
Well, it's a people business, and it's about member service. It's about having a fully engaged, high quality team. Team member engagement is extremely important to us. We actually work with the Gallup organization on both member engagement and team member engagement, and it's really helped us a lot over the last, probably been working with them for at least 6 or 7 years. And they just have a different approach to things. I know other credit unions work with them as well and are having success. It's about the people. The business is about the people. The numbers are important. They have to be managed. They're important to us. They're important to the regulators. We have a sort of a 3-pronged strategy here that starts with member service, world-class member service, an exceptional quality team, and enduring financial strength. So we do pay attention to the numbers, but we put the people first. And I think that's important to remember. People know that, but it's easy sometimes. Again, it's easy to get distracted from things that can take up time that aren't as important as taking care of your people.
It's very well put, I will say. I know I am easily distracted. I don't know if you are exactly, but you're doing a heck of a job out there. So let's move on to the last segment of this interview, Bill, which is all about Bill Cheney. So I'm going to ask you a few questions here. Bill, where did you grow up?
Mostly in Dallas, Texas. My father was in the Marine Corps when I was born. I was born in Virginia. He was stationed at Quantico, but we moved to Dallas when I was 2 years old. He was also a banker, so some of my friends know I'm a son of a banker. Say that carefully.
An SOB, sure. Okay,
right.
Sure.
And he joined the credit union later in life, so he saw the light. So we actually lived, when I was 10 years old, we moved to London, England for 2 years, which was an amazing experience for a young person.
I bet.
But we, from there, moved back to Dallas. So pretty much Dallas, Texas. I'm a Texan at heart, even though I was born in Virginia.
So, well, speaking of Texas, you graduated from the University of Texas McCombs School of Business there in Austin, Texas. This is a 2-part question. Do you ever go back to Austin?
We do. We go back a lot, particularly in the fall.
Sure. Smart.
It's football season. My wife and I actually have a little condo in Austin. So we were just there last weekend, as a matter of fact. Yes.
Okay. Well, second part to this question, where's the best place to get queso?
In Austin?
Yeah.
Matt's El Rancho, hands down.
Okay. No, great answer.
Matt's El Rancho. It's been there for decades. So
yeah, it has. It's very good. I also do really like the original Torchy's tacos.
Torchy's is great, yes, and it's walking distance from our condo. Not the original,
it is?
But there is one. We're by the campus, so there's one on Guadalupe.
I know exactly where that is.
Yeah. But the original one is cool too. Absolutely.
Oh, their queso's so good.
Yes.
Heads up, did you know next time you're in Austin, they sell Torchy's Tacos queso at Whole Foods?
I did not know that.
You can bring that home.
Awesome.
Okay. Good to know. All right. Next question. What was the first album you ever purchased or listened to?
That's a great question. The first one I can ever remember listening to the point I wore it out, was Jerry Jeff Walker's album Viva Terlingua.
Uh,
Because,
okay.
like I said, I'm a
Why did
Texas
you wear
guy.
that out?
I love that music. I still
Yeah.
do. We don't have records anymore. You can't wear out a file. So
No.
my father got very upset because he bought the album, but I
Uh-huh.
listened to it, and my friends would come over and we would listen to it, and it was just cool.
Hey, I'm going to put that on my list. I'm going to find that one.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay. What was the last movie you watched?
My wife and I are going to Normandy in the
Oh,
summer.
okay.
Never been there before. I've been to
Yeah.
France before, but not to Normandy. So it's not a movie per se, but we've been watching Band of Brothers.
Oh, yeah. Great HBO series.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, all about D-Day and
Mm-hmm.
all the challenges that they faced and the bravery that they exhibited
Yeah.
in liberating France and moving into Germany. Incredible.
Yeah, that's a great show. And I'd love to hear what you think of Normandy when you get back.
Yeah.
That's going to
Yeah,
be
I
fun.
had both of my grandfathers served in World War II, one in Europe and
Mm,
one in the Pacific. So it's bringing
amazing.
back a lot of memories and hearing their old stories. So
I hope it's a really great trip for you. That'll be really, really emotional potentially and
yeah.
interesting. Last question for you. Just where can people connect with you if they would like to?
Well, they can connect with me by email. I'm on Twitter if you're into that
Oh,
sort of thing. I'm
okay.
on LinkedIn. It's all pretty straightforward. It's just Bill Cheney.
Bill Cheney. Okay.
Yeah. My
Great.
email here at Schools First is billcheney@schoolsfirstfcu.org. So always happy to talk to other credit union people.
Great. Bill Cheney, President and CEO of Schools First Federal Credit Union. Bill, thank you for coming on today. It has really been great speaking with you again.
Oh my gosh, thank you. It's been a great conversation. Appreciate it.
Let's talk again soon. I want to catch up again.
Yeah.
But Bill, thank you. So for our listeners, please subscribe to Shared Accounts with CU Times anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get it. And if you want to rate us, we'd love your feedback. For those of you with questions or comments, feel free to email Natasha at nchillingarian@cutimes.com or email moi at mogden@cutimes.com. Also this month, exclusively on our executive briefing for subscribers only, we're breaking down the most recent mortgage data and what good and bad signs it shows for credit unions. You can subscribe to the executive briefing at cutimes.com/subscribe. Thank you so much to our producer, Zach Nyheisel. Thanks, Zach. Join us again next week for a new episode of Shared Accounts with CU Times. Until then, thanks for listening.